right, folks. So, new you in 2023. When I was, and I told you all week when I was in Jamaica. So I'm walking along the beach, and then God gives me and just hits me to have 8 different people talking about really this new you, and different people, dietitians and fitness folks in different ways. And we've got some guests coming up. Rodney Lennon is going to be on talking about the importance of weight, heavy weights when it comes to lifting weights. We got Funk Roberts, who's going to be on his program focusing on fitness for men over 50. We've got Miss Olympia Cheryl Grant's going to be on talking about the importance of fitness for women over 50. Dr. Rowe is going to be here with a dietitian. Cootie Mack is going to be with us talking about getting our food stuff straight as well. And of course, this week we've had Jim Jones, we've had Terry Starks, we've had JJ Smith, and joining us today is my homegirl, Monica Jones. Of course, she goes by Train with Mon on Instagram. And so I had you down. So, and I saw you at the Congressional Black Caucus, and I said it was crazy at the Apple party. And what was crazy, y'all, I was like, yo, I said, I've not had her on since I had my TV One show. And so your name was one of the ones that popped up. And so a lot of people are working out. And folks see me post my videos on Instagram, and I love all these pseudo trainers, folk who everybody got something to say. And one of the things that folks always want to comment on, man, I keep seeing you on the treadmill. They're not realizing I do a 30-minute treadmill workout. And I got a bike, elliptical. I got a bike and a treadmill. Mm-hmm. I prefer the elliptical a lot better. What they don't realize is when I get done with that, then I do resistance training with my bands.
Yeah.
And I do have weights, and I do have dumbbells, I do have other things as well, but I really prefer the bands, but I can do different things with it. So talk about why the resistance training, why does that matter?
So there's a number of reasons why, but I think one of the most important things is the fact that people feel like they have to do cardio because it gives them the endorphins that they need, and it's also something they can kind of mindlessly do.
And when you're sweating, you think, "Oh, I'm sweating, so I'm working out."
Right? I feel my muscles, I'm tired, but then it feels like you can do other things while you do cardio. So I'm not saying you shouldn't do it, but
right.
Resistance-based training, it could be bands, it could be body weight, it could be using dumbbells. It's really important because it allows for us to build up our bone mineral density. Mm-hmm. So when we reach our mid-20s, that starts to decrease already. And then just take into account smoking, partying, drinking, doing all those things. It also slows down our ability to create new bone while we are getting rid of the old bone.
Okay.
So whether you're looking at osteopenia, which is really big with women getting into their 30s, 40s, 50s, or your osteoporosis, where just your bones are more brittle, resistance-based training is why we need to keep that calcium up, make sure that our bones are strong.
So I'm gonna go back to let's start with one. So when you said resistance training with body weight, what does that mean? What does that look like?
It could be anything. You can do body weight squats, you can do push-ups, you can do superheroes. Just make sure that you're doing something that causes some muscular tension. So when we do cardio, a lot of times our body is just moving, but it's not moving against a certain force. It's just moving in a certain direction. But when we do training for our muscles...
So even if we're doing cardio, that's why when on the machine where you can increase your level of resistance.
Yes, that's why it's important.
So even if you're doing it, jack that up, that way it's not just you... even playing, and you just basically just walking fast, you're actually pushing against something.
Yes.
Okay.
And that's why if you're going to do some cardio-based training, elliptical is great, or doing, if you're going to walk, you want to walk on an incline or walk with some weight on you, because of the fact that it's going to allow for you to get that resistance in your muscles and allow for your metabolism to boost. When we carry around more muscle in our body, doesn't necessarily mean we're bigger. It doesn't mean that we're heavier necessarily, depending, but it allows for our metabolism to be a little bit more boosted, and so we can live more flexible lifestyles. I think a lot of people are all or nothing when it comes to New Year's, and there's still a lot of events going on. I'm catching you at the events, so it's really important to make sure that we live a flexible lifestyle. We don't go all or nothing. All right,
folks, roll the video, because when you're talking about body weight, again, somebody who's still thinking. So is that what we're talking about here? Is that it?
So that is cardio purely, but in the same workout, I'm getting down, I'm doing some crab bridges, I'm doing some push-ups. So mixing in some cardio like that with your body weight with actual workouts that have time under tension. So a little bit of a slower count, allowing for yourself to take your time and feel that pressure for your muscles. That's what matters. You got to cross-train. You got to have both.
Okay, and so all right, so let's deal with sets and then time. So if we're working out. First of all, how much time are we talking about? I've had some people say after you do like a set, you do 30-second break. Some say 10 seconds. What should we be doing?
So start where you know, meet yourself where you are. I think that everybody has to start somewhere. So when you talk about timed intervals, I think it's a great place for someone who is new to resistance training or working out in general. I think it's great because it gives you a time frame to stick to, and you can see yourself kind of getting a little bit better within that time frame. So it truly doesn't matter. I wouldn't put yourself in efforts that are longer than 90 seconds long as a beginner, because that's when you really start to falter in your form, depending on your fitness level, and then you're kind of setting yourself back if you get injured.
So when you mention weights, I've seen some of your videos, and some people, again, they're all about heavy weights. Well, others are like, no, it's about being very slow with repetitions. And so let's say so what should it be? 5 pounds, 10 pounds, not trying to be so heavy, but doing more reps?
You want manageable at first, manageable but challenging, and it really depends on who you are. So that's why you need a trainer. Make sure that you get someone to guide you, because a lot of times we'll scroll down our timeline, see different things. Someone's doing cardio, someone is, lifting, Olympic lifting heavy weights, and it can become confusing. Stick to that one thing and try to see how it progresses for you, and then see how you can challenge yourself as you go on.
Okay, so let's talk about resistance bands, and they're all different types. They're light, medium, heavy. You can place them on your ankles. You can place them on your thighs, and you can use them in so many different ways.
Yes, and you can take them anywhere.
Right.
So resistance bands are incredible. I use strength bands, so they're a full loop. Yep, that's a strength band. So basically, you're able to do all kinds of workouts, whether you're anchoring them to something or you are just holding on to them yourself and creating the resistance. You also have resistance bands that have handles for those who have like delicate hands, but you want to make sure that you're using these with control still. Although it's giving you the resistance, moving too fast.
So when you say with control, not trying to go fast completely, but really take your time going up and coming down to feel the resistance.
Build up to it. I think that our confidence builds when we do resistance-based training, because it is something that is a little bit more challenging for us. Back when these videos went live, that was like 5 years ago, I was building my confidence with bands, and then I eventually got to barbell workouts, and I'm a boxer. I love doing bands so that it helps me with the rotation of my joints, so that I am throwing punches correctly and bringing them back.
See, the reason I love the bands again is because, so somebody who's watching right now, again, look, I've got the boxing, I got the weights, I got the elliptical. I posted a video the other day. I got all the stuff in my home gym. But you may not have a home gym. This allows for you can attach it to a door, and you can do it in any room. And then if you're traveling, you can do it at your family's house, if you're in hotel rooms, and it allows you to be far more mobile.
Yes, it allows for you to go anywhere. And that's one of the main excuses that there is, like, I don't have time. Like, you better bring those bands to work.
Yeah, I mean, you could, I almost did that. I was like, damn, I didn't get it in. Because I actually keep it set at home. I travel so much, I literally have one that's just for travel, because otherwise, you forgot or whatever the heck. And again, you can move them around. Let's go questions from our panel. Matt, you first.
I guess the only question I have is there a difference that between body weights and resistance bands or anything else as it relates to efficacy in building muscle?
So yes, eventually you want to cross train with all. It's really good to make sure that when you use bands and things like that, they're allowing for you to get a little bit more stabilization through your joints. And resistance-based training, whether it's with bands or weights, it really helps when you build that time under tension and your muscles starting to feel it. You're building a mind-muscle connection. If we're not challenging ourselves to do that, it makes us a little bit more sluggish and not as sharp in our older age. So aside from our bones getting less dense, it also causes us to not be as sharp mentally. So we're falling more, we're breaking more when we fall. And our joints are just as important as our muscles, but our muscles are what support them. So if we're not actually building our muscle and our joints are taking all of that that wear and tear day to day, opening doors, holding babies, whatever it is, driving cars, then we're going to be injured no matter what.
Kelly?
Sure. So when it comes to strength training and the like, how do you feel about like the supplements that a lot of people use in conjunction with? And I guess a follow-up question for that is, as we get older, Pain management is something that I think about a lot because, I've been injured. I've broken my ankle so many times doing sports and dislocated this, that, and third. So even though I'm young, my joints feel older than I am. So
yes.
How do you reconcile that with the strength training that you have to do in order to keep those muscles and joints healthy?
With supplementation, you want to make sure that you know what it is that you actually need. So a lot of people use caffeine or pre-workouts so that they can just get there, right? But maybe you just need to make it easier to get there. So I always tell people don't rely on supplements. Make sure that you're getting everything you need within your diet first, within your intake, and then try to add things if you need them after you've established a good routine.
So actually eat it versus taking the pill.
Yeah, and hydrate yourself. Know what the signs are to that fatigue or that headache or that muscular ache. Maybe it's not just the fact that you're old. It's the fact that you're just lacking something. You're deficient.
Michael, question, 20 seconds, go.
All right. Can you talk about the relationship between cardio and lifting weights and lowering blood pressure? Because I've been using it to working out to lower my blood pressure. Talk about that, please.
Yeah, absolutely. So all of it is going to be a challenge to your heart, no matter what you do. When you move your limbs away from your body, above or around, it's going to cause your heart to work harder, and it's going to cause your lungs to work harder. So when we do that, we're allowing for ourselves to increase the amount of recovery that we need through our entire body. It takes a lot of that pressure away from our actual heart and away from our arteries and allows for us to get better blood flow. It also helps us with our digestion. So if you are having trouble with higher cholesterol or you're having trouble with any sort of other chronic diseases, your gut is going to be the number one way to fix that. And how do we fix that? By making sure we're moving so that things are moving.
All right, then. Monica, we appreciate it. How can folks find you?
You can find me at Train with Mon on all platforms or monica-jones.com. If you're looking for a trainer, hit us up at hlsfit.com.
All right. Always good to see you.
Good to see you.
I appreciate it. Thanks a bunch. All right, folks. Back to our Roland Mark Unfiltered video in just one moment. When you talk about blackness and what happens in black culture, we're about covering these things that matter to us, speaking to our issues and concerns.
This is a genuine people-powered movement.
There's a lot of stuff that we're not getting. You get it, and you spread the word.
We wish to plead our own cause. Too long have others spoken for us. We cannot tell our own story if we can't pay for it. This is about covering us. Invest in black-owned media. Your dollars matter. We don't have to keep asking them to cover our stuff. So please support us in what we do, folks. We want to hit 2,000 people, $50 this month, raise $100,000. We're behind 100,000, so we want to hit that. Y'all money makes this possible. Check some money orders. Go to P.O. Box 57196, Washington, D.C. 20037-0196. The Cash App is $RM Unfiltered. PayPal is R Martin Unfiltered. Venmo is RM Unfiltered. Zelle is Roland@RolandSMartin.com.